Hey guys, welcome back to Shredcraft RC. I'm Cam and today we're doing a little body swap. So I wanted to share some tips and tricks that I use when swapping bodies between chassis. Something that kind of makes it a little simpler and easier to go back and forth, because if you've noticed in the videos of my channel, I seem to swap bodies quite a bit. So this chassis was on the Rookie Drift 2.0 and this was on my Scarab RDX, and we're going to swap those. So this is going to be an outside car plastic chassis. This will be my inside car comp car. So show you what I did to make these body swaps a little easier and how they mount up to the chassis. So maybe some of these quick little tips and tricks will help you out in the future. Stay tuned. Alright, so we'll start here with the Rookie Drift 2.0 and still stock chassis. All I've done is I made a little aluminum top deck for it and put big bores on it, so everything else is stock. So what I do here is I take servo mounts, if you can see that, and then I bolt those directly into the shock tower here. And then there's a shim, just because there's an offset spacing between the molding on the tower here. That pushes the tower out, keeps it straight and vertical. And then since it's a servo mount, just put a little standoff with a magnet directly onto it. So that's a nice lightweight, compact body mounting solution that some guys at the track recommended for me, and I've really utilized it on most of my chassis. Before, I had giant standoffs here on the front bumper, and I thought it was a lot of weight to overhang over the steering, so I think this is a little performance benefit there. And then on the rear, I always run stock body posts, just because when you're drifting you tend to smash the wall with the rear bumper a bunch, and if you were just to have flat magnets don't have a lot of grip on sheer impact and force, so you see a lot of guys bump the wall and their bodies get all wonky or tossed off the chassis. So keeping stock body posts, they're lightweight, they're plastic, not a lot of weight, and that's how I've always done it. So when I do this, I figure out where the body mount holes are. This body actually now has another set, so there's three sets of holes in the back, and in the front, magnets with E6000 glue, and then the body is guided with the front magnets directly onto the body post, so it all aligns super easy. And then with those magnets on the front, you can adjust the standoffs that they sit on to get the different body height. What I like to do is see where the chassis hits the ground and have that be the tucked position on the fender. So then, well, there's no battery in here right now, so it's not a true ride height, but you know, it'll probably be there. Make sure the wheels have full motion without hitting the Lexan, because if your front wheels are hitting or rubbing anywhere, it's probably gonna spin you out while you're driving. So make sure you think about all that. Everybody's different. The rear body posts have those plastic pieces there, so it will limit the height, and then that's adjustable, and you can move those up or down if you need more wheel height. But again, chassis bottomed out, just tucked, ride height with the batteries, probably tire to fender. The rear typically doesn't matter as much. I've had tires rub through bodies just because there's constantly power going through there. It would act effectively as an active drag brake if it was consistently rubbing while you're driving. But that is the Rookie Drift now. So I don't know if you notice, it's got the outside tires. So my plan is to run this on some outdoor setups. So let's go and move on to the Scarab, because I designed a little part that I'm sure some of you have seen, and I'll show that to you next. So if you'll notice, that piece of titanium there bolted to the RDX bulkhead is a piece that I made. They also make their own out of carbon. This was my attempt of a solution. It's a piece of titanium, bolts to the bulkhead. I'm able to put standoffs directly on it, and then the magnets can bolt directly to the front of the bulkhead there, and then I can remove, which I haven't yet, but this front bumper piece, which will save a bunch of weight, again hanging over the front of the chassis. So now it's more centralized over the steering, and again you can change the height of the standoffs by adding shims, removing shims, because different bodies require different heights. And then on the body, this will mount, I have magnets right below the windshield there. So what I'll do as I mount the body is I'll set these magnets, get them to the height that I need, and then I'll put a layer of backing paper from the vinyl in between the two magnets, put the magnet that's to be mounted onto the body on top of that, and then put a dab of E6000 glue on there, place the body, and then feel the gap between the front wheels. And I'll actually put this on and show you, because no one wants whack fitment on their drift car. So rear body posts again, and then got the right height where I wanted it, and then I will feel the wheel gap to the outside of the fender, and while the glue's still wet you can shift that back and forth, and then I'll place two large magnets on top just to hold the body on as the glue dries, and then you have a nice centered mounted body. So I really like this body that we painted for the Rookie Drift 2.0 series, and I wanted to keep it pretty fresh, so I decided to put it on my track car, and that being the Scarab. It's kind of my piece of RC jewelry here. So all titanium, aluminum, and carbon fiber. I'm gonna have to take that front piece off, and then we'll get on the scale and I'll show you what this thing weighs with all my custom parts and custom chassis on it. Alright, ready to go on the scales, and before you even ask, this is the Sky RC Bluetooth corner weight system. I got this at my local track, so I don't have a link, but you can type that in Google and find it yourself. So here is the weight system. As you can see, it's zeroed out. Go ahead and set this on the scales. No battery, just the chassis. So 1,017 grams. And people ask about weight balance. That is 30 front, 70% rear. So 303 grams up front, 714 grams in the rear. I haven't corner balanced anything, so not super perfect, but it is a super lightweight, high performance chassis. So everyone who's gotten one so far has really complimented how well it feels. And now with these new battery trays and options available to mount your battery in different positions, different heights, makes it more fun to kind of tune to the feeling that you want, because that's such a big part of this hobby, is tuning the chassis to drive how you want it to drive. So yeah, fun little tip there. And then of course your body is going to play into how the chassis drives as well. So that Corvette has a real low overhang over the rear wheels, whereas the S15 has a lot longer overhang. So you got to think about how much tail you have on the back of the car going into the wall as you're drifting, whereas the Corvette, some of the corners, the wheel almost hits the wall before the rear bumper, because the rear bumper tucks in so tightly to the rear wheel. And then front wheels too, having a large front bumper overhang will play into how close you can get to a car when you're chasing it, and then how early you have to lift off to let them transition before you can dive back into the pocket. So all of that plays into how your car drives, and then how you need to set up the tune to your chassis. That's a ever evolving, constant topic of tuning, is people picking bodies for how the car drives, and that's something that I do as well. So one of the reasons why I swapped bodies. So we'll get the S15 back on here, and then we'll get some beauty shots and show you what it looks like.
You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Redemption ever.
Alright guys, just want to say thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed those little beauty shots. And if you're interested in this body mount steering brace for the RDX, make sure to hit me up on Instagram. Again, my Instagram is at ShredCraftRC, and you can see it there on my video page as well. So thanks again for watching. I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. I want to say thank you for everyone that comments, hits that like button, and yeah, so if you guys like what you see, a lot more RC content, not just drift cars, but definitely into those buggies and off-road vehicles as well. So have some more of those videos coming along, and some more content featuring my Scarab chassis and the parts I designed for it. So make sure hit that like button if you like what you see, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.